Hi, guys. We're live here today for our first ever podcast here on StreamYard.
Dogs.
We got a little technical difficulty. Mr. Brent Shaw, one of our guests, is going to go get his Wi-Fi taken care of. But I want to kind of introduce everything. So this is Season 1, Episode 2 of Legends Live Podcast. It's going to be hosted by my dad, Darrell Pitchford, and me, his favorite son, Casey Pitchford. I appreciate y'all all for coming out. I appreciate Mr. Arlen Taylor and Brent Shaw for being our first guests. Just to kind of introduce them and get everything going, Mr. Arlen Taylor, he's been managing Tinney Farms for about 27 years now. He's married to his wife, Linda Taylor, for 18 years now. They have a son, Ethan, that's 17 years old. They live out in Huntsville, Alabama. He is the ranch manager for both the deer operation and the cattle operation for Tinney Farms. And can you give us a little background? Anything else you want to tell us about yourself, Mr. Arlen?
That's pretty much got it covered. I think that's about got us covered.
Okay, awesome. All right, just breaking the ice, getting things going. We're going to ask a few interview questions to both Mr. Arlen, Brent, and Mr. Darrell. While Mr. Brent figures out everything, we'll go and get the first question going. First question: how did you get started in the cattle industry? And kind of talk about your operation and the role that you play in it.
Are you asking me?
Arlen, if you want to go first.
Go ahead, Arlen. Do you want to go ahead first?
All right. Well, I was a young man out of high school and was kind of looking for a job and looking for things to do, and ran across Howard Tinney one day and just kind of went to work part-time. And you know, after working under a couple of different managers out here, I kind of took over, and Howard gave me the opportunity to manage the farm and all. And that's kind of how I really got started in the Santa Gertrudis business. And just still plugging away at it every day. So it's really, really exciting, and it's been really good.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Dad, if you want to kind of give us your take.
Yeah, I started out, through 4-H when I was younger. And my family grew up in the dairy business and the beef cattle business. And then all my neighbors had Angus and the Simmental and the Herefords and the people we grew up with. And, I like the Santa Gertrudis cattle out in the pastures. I was very fortunate enough. I had Creasy Farms right there in Westmoreland, Tennessee. And Mr. Oscar Williams kind of took me under his wing and kind of got me started. I wanted those cherry red cattle with a little bit of loose hide, and they had a lot of grow to them. So that's kind of where I got my start from, was Mr. Oscar Williams there at Creasy Farms in Tennessee. And we kind of developed from there and built our own little herd, and then kind of turned it into what we have today.
And see, Brent's still getting that going. And that's kind of why we started this podcast. We want to reach out to breeders across the country, across our breed, also reach into some other breeds and get a feel and let people that, that have an impact on our cattle industry have a voice. And it's kind of a place where everybody can kind of come and talk and just kind of hang out, not have any serious answers, just kind of talk amongst cattlemen. And that's what we're here to do. So moving on to the second question. Mr. Brent, you there yet? Okay, moving on to the second question. Why Santa Gertrudis cattle, Mr. Arlen? Why did you choose Santa Gertrudis?
Well, I would have to go back to something that Howard actually told me one day. The reason he got started in Santa Gertrudis was he had a herd of commercial cows. And I'm not sure who he purchased his first bull from, but he bought a bull and put on those commercial cows, and his weaning weights were significantly heavier. And so he said, well, heck, if they can do this on commercial cows, I'm going to go purebred. So in 1980, I guess he started into the purebred business. And then, of course, when I came on, I think it was in 94, could have been early 95. He was pretty active. I mean, he was full time in the purebred deal then, and he had already produced one or shown one national champion bull. So he's real passionate about show cattle and performance cattle as well, and as well as proving that show cattle could perform in the feed yards and that sort of thing. So, and we just expanded from there. I think when I came to work here, we probably had 100 cows, 120 cows, and at one point we were actually up to probably 450 cows. And then, unfortunately, Howard passed away, and we did a herd reduction sale and sold back down. So we're probably running about 125 cows now.
Okay.
But that's pretty much. I mean, they're just a great breed of cattle. They do really well around here for us. We've got a pretty good bull market for selling some commercial bulls to some of the commercial breeders in and around Alabama. So it's been good, and that, I guess that's the main reason why we like these cattle.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, I think we have Brent joining us now, Casey.
You there, Mr. Brent? Let's see.
You there, Mr. Brent?
I'm unmuted.
See if I can unmute him there.
Okay.
Yeah, see if he's on there now. Brent, can you hear us? Okay, we're going. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Arlen, I know we're talking a little bit, it's a cattle podcast, this, that, and the other. I know Tinney Farms, they also have a deer ranch there. Can you give us a little background on that and what that encompasses?
Yeah, probably 12 years ago, I guess, Howard decided to venture into the deer breeding operation. And so we started out, bought 30 does and started breeding seed stock deer. And then a piece of property relatively close to us came up for sale, and we bought that and started a hunting preserve. And it's been going about 10 years now. So we've got 5,000 acre hunting preserve, and we've got about a 1,200 acre high fence enclosure that we do, and that's Stouts Mountain Ranch. And we still sell and produce seed stock deer, but we also pretty much use our breeding facility to stock the enclosure and sell to other enclosures.
Yeah. Awesome. And I guess, Dad, going back to why did you choose these cherry red cattle?
Well, like I say, when I grew up, that's the cattle, everybody else had the Angus and the Hereford, and I just never did fall in love with them the way I did the Gerts driving through the pastures. But then when I went through college and I got done with college, I had to make up my mind what I wanted to do. And I was very fortunate enough to, straight out of college, when I got done, go straight to Pecan Hill Farms in Belleville, Texas. So that was a major move for this Kentucky boy to load up, leave everything, and go to South Texas and manage Pecan Hill Farms, one of the biggest Sandra Trudis ranches besides Nine Bar in the breed at that time. And we were very fortunate. The first year I was there, we tied with Nine Bar Ranch for Breeder of the Year. And then the second year I was there, we won Breeder of the Year for the whole Sandra Trudis breed. And boy, those cows were big, stout cows. Most of those cows back then averaged 1,800, 2,000 pounds on most of those cattle. And boy, the industry sure has changed since then. But I love these cherry red cows. They're the best mothering cattle there are. And their milking ability, their weaning weights, their yearling weights, and now their carcass ability is, we can compete with anybody in the industry right now. So that's why I love these cattle. They're hard workers. They get out and do their jobs, and you don't have to worry about them.
Awesome. Love our cattle. So I know we both kind of come from different parts of the world as far as Santa Gertrudis go. We're over here in Texas, and Arlen and Brent, y'all are over in Alabama. Given that, how does the Junior Association affect you and your operation in your given state?
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, we still sell and produce a lot of quality animals that the juniors enjoy showing and are competitive. And that's the goal at Tinney Farms, is to produce competitive cattle. And so, I mean, it's been really good for us. I know we've hosted a few field days, and we've even had some junior jackpots and stuff at the farm. You know, so it's helped us out a bunch as far as getting cattle out into the public eye.
Right. Awesome. Dad, how does that affect our operation, and how do we play off the junior association?
You know, my hands are down to the junior association. The given state that we're in right now, it's got me to where I am at this point. I grew up in the junior association, and then I was very lucky and very fortunate. I got to make the next couple of steps forward and keep producing these cattle after I got out of school, and then to go into I've won national champion females and bulls several times, but to win the National Junior Heifer Show, that's the hardest thing to me in the world. It's just hard. It's so hard to believe until you're there that week how many powerful animals there are at the National Junior Heifer Show. I mean, that's the best of the best compared to any breed there is. And we were really lucky. Casey was lucky he won in 2016, just with a tremendous yearling female. And she's still in our herd now, producing even better than, she's just unlimited in what she can do. And she stamps every one of those animals. And then for Gracie to win in 2017, just a tremendous female. And then one that we sold that same year was reserve national champion. That same show with Gracie was just most incredible. And then the third year, 2018, we had sold a heifer to Laura Zobilski out of one of our sales, and that female went on to win the National Junior Heifer Show, and that probably meant more to me actually than us both my kids winning. Was we were able to produce something that won the National Junior Heifer Show. So we had 3 awesome years in a row going, and we're still building off of those genetics right now. This calf crop that we have coming out is, which we'll talk about here a little later on, but this calf crop is based off of those junior cattle still since 2016, 17, 18, that we're just getting started and having fun with that. And now this year, something special that I wanted to do, and I talked to Suzanne the other day, I want to give back. So I'm giving every class winner at the National Junior Heifer Show, every purebred class, every Star 5 class, every bull class, and then every Star 5 donated, bred and owned, and all them. I'm giving every class winner a straw of Copperhead 915C4. That bull has just worked tremendously all the way through, and him just having a chance to improve these kids as cattle means a lot to me. So I want to give that back to the kids as well.
Awesome. I know it's shaped me and Gracie tremendously, and like I said, not enough thanks we can give to our junior association. Moving on to the next question. This one not the easiest question to answer, but what's your biggest failure, and what did you learn from that experience? I guess, Dad, you want to go ahead and start that one?
Yeah, mine's a little interesting. If we're going to stay on the cattle part of it, we were really, I had a partner deal going, and we were producing some of the best cattle in the whole world, and we were going along, everything was doing great. And you cannot single trait select. All these people that are chasing these EPDs right now, you need to be really careful when you are single trait selecting. But we had it going all the way through phenotype, the EPDs, and we was trying to put the whole thing together as we go. And those cattle were phenomenal. While these same donors, I tried to dip down to move them even further down into that 1% where we were like 10%, 15%. And all I was doing was chasing that one trait. And I traced that one trait. And those old timers had told me not to do that. They said, it's going to bite you on the butt. You need to keep them together. But I wanted to go ahead and dip down. And that was probably my biggest failure. Was I went and picked up that set of calves from Transova that those same set of cows had produced awesome every time. And those calves, when I brought them home, that was probably the ugliest, sorriest piece of crap cows I've ever seen in my life. And I told my wife, I said, hey, I need you to go tomorrow and look through these wean calves, see what you think, and just make sure to get another set of eyes on them. And I didn't tell her I didn't like them or I liked them or nothing. So she went over there and went through them, and she's like, what have you done? What have you done? We cannot sell any of these cattle. These are the ugliest, sorriest cattle I've ever seen. Those calves were $2,000 calves that we'd paid for at weaning. And we took every one of them, I think, but 3. We sold the whole entire group. We went to Athens Selborne. I put them through there and I sold them and got rid of them because I was not going to sell anything that looked that horrible or that bad. And that really woke me up. And for everybody that thinks they can single trait select, they need to be really careful because it will bite you. You need to put the whole package together when you're doing it. So that to me is one of my bigger failures. Do we have Brent back with us yet?
I don't know. He keeps trying to come back in.
I guess not. Go ahead, Arlen.
Mr. Arlen, biggest failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, I don't know. You know, there's so much stuff that tries to go through your mind on this deal. You know, for one to come to mind, you know, it's kind of a struggle, but gosh, you know, it's just hard to pin one down. You know, I mean, it kind of echoes what Darrell said about kind of single trait selecting for EPDs. You know, we've done some things here with a percentage of the herd that you know, that hindsight will always tell you to do something different. But you know, and that's what we were doing. We were chasing a couple of traits that are really viable to the beef industry. But I think, like Darrell said, I think we went about it a little bit too quick in the wrong way. So I guess my regret would be, you know, if I could back up and go again, I would probably try to balance that out a little more. Mm-hmm. And I would probably be a little farther ahead right now with some of our stuff. Of course, you know, we dabble and play. So, you know, we learn from our mistakes.
Right. Hindsight's always 20/20.
That's correct.
Yes, sir. With that being said, Mr. Arlen, where do you see the Gert breed in the next 5 years?
Oh, I think the Gert breed is sitting in a tremendous spot right now with the advancements of genomics and different things that the breed is working on currently, making us more viable in the eyes of the beef industry. We certainly know we have the cattle. Identifying and selecting for the commercial sector of the cattle industry is very valuable. So I think we're headed in a great direction, and I think we're just going to continue to get stronger in this beef industry.
Awesome. Dad, what's your take on it? Where do you see us in 5 years as a breed?
Well, we've made a tremendous jump these last 3 to 5 years as a whole, as a breed. I mean, you know, we went from where we couldn't sell these bulls to where now we got people waiting for our bulls to have a sale. And I think the bull market's the hardest thing. You know, that's what we're working on now, is trying to create the EPD bull with the phenotype bull with the, you know, people still, they want that bull to look good. You know, they'll chase numbers all you want, but they still have to look good, and they want to be able to sell a lot of animals and have good weaning weights. So I think this breed, you know, the next 5 years, we've really come to the front, but I think we're going to be one of the top 2 or 3 breeds. You know, the Angus cattle, or they are hats off on this certified Angus beef, you know. And I think that's a kind of a market deal we have to hit too, as well, is to make everybody know our meat and our carcass data is really good. So that's where the next 5 years we're going to push forward into the meat market, the carcass identity. And, you know, I'd love to see our animals out there, and instead of everybody looking at 44 Farms, you know, if they look at Tinney Farms, you know, when they go to the Walmart store, or what, you know, whatever that is Grandview or whatever. But I want somebody in the Santa Trudis to be in there and have that same market, because our meat is very tender. It's very good. It's good marbling. So we just kind of had a bad perception, and we've had it for a long time, and we have to overcome those boundaries and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all about the long run. I know just looking at our herd, the calves that we've weaned off, year after year, we looked at this bull calf crop that we just weaned off, and I think you said you culled one bull because of a sheep.
Yes,
And,
one bull.
out of however many we weaned off, and these sheets are perfect. Our cattle are starting to, every cow in our herd has good udder. We keep that criteria, we keep things moving like that, including the genomics. I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yes, sir. It's a battle every day. You just have to keep working forward. And that group of calves we just weaned off, I was so excited because really just had that one calf that had a really bad sheath, and man, we cleaned them up a lot. So but you still got to have a little bit of sheath in there and have a little bit of grow and a little. You don't want to get them too tight wound at the same time, but you still got to have a little bit of grow with them so they'll have good weaning weights.
No, I agree. Mr. Arlen, you just won the lottery, and if you could choose anywhere in the world to move to, where would you move to, and why?
Oh goodness, the thing about it is, I love Alabama. If I won the lottery and I could do anything, I'd probably try to buy up everybody around me and tear down some of these houses and put them back in pasture ground. Yeah. I've seen a pretty good bit of the United States, and there's a lot of rolling hills here in Alabama, and I kind of like some flat country. So I wouldn't be opposed to maybe trying Montana in the summertime and Florida in the wintertime.
Right.
But yeah, Alabama's certainly a great place to be in the beef business.
Dad, what about you? You just won the lottery, all the money in the world. Where would you move to, and why?
I tell you what, there's not a better place in Texas to me. I got moved here from Kentucky originally, and it's been hard to get back there. But I love the roll of the land out here. I love the sandy soils, and I love the beautiful coastal. And we got trees. It's not like some of the South Texas deal. We have these beautiful trees here, and it's really beautiful right through the part of East Texas that we're in. I would like to stay right around here where I am and just buy. I know 2 or 3 big places I'd like to buy up, and now that I have 2 grandkids here, I want to go to Gulf Shores and get back on the beaches and do all that, and then come back and enjoy these great cows that God made. Gerts are God's cattle. That's what old Dad always said, and they're just God's cattle. And it's hard to beat this breed of cattle, but I'd like to have, another 300-400 more head with some. I'd probably bring even Arlen and Brent over here and let them help manage this place with me, and no telling what the heck we could create after that.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But
now we're going to move on to the section where, Mr. Arlen, if you have any questions you want to fire off at me or Dad, you're welcome to fire it off. If not, but if you got a question for us, shoot.
Is Brent with us yet?
He still looks like he's frozen at the moment.
He's frozen. We got him speechless right now. So we got him right there. This will be a first time in history right here. We got him froze.
I guess one question I got is whose idea was it to start this podcast? Because it's a pretty cool deal. And Darrell had mentioned something to me about it the other day. So I put an app on my phone, podcast deal. Mm-hmm. So I've been going through listening to a bunch of these podcasts, trying to get prepared for tonight. What enticed you to do this deal?
Honestly, I didn't have a thing to do with it. Dad came up to me one day and said, "Hey, Casey, we're doing a podcast." And I was like, "You want a podcast? Okay, let's get it going then. Let's do it." Yeah, I know we watched a couple different podcasts, cattle podcasts going on. I know V8 Ranches have made a really cool video that my dad really liked and was like, "Man, that's cool. That's really cool way to promote our ranch and get to just talk to people."
Certainly.
So
yeah.
Why'd you want to do a podcast?
Well, I was watching. Actually, it was kind of weird for me to come up with this. But I thought this was like the coolest thing ever, and I was afraid to tell my kids about it because my IT. And let me put in a little pitch right here for my IT team. I couldn't do this without Laura. Laura's the backbone behind this, and Casey's my IT, and Gracie's been my IT. And the last day or two, they have worked their butts off, and I think it was really good. The one we did at Houston, just nobody could hear us. We bought microphones and we did all this, and man, I wish it, because I think it was really good. I think we may do that one all over again just so everybody can see it. Because Todd Hyde was so informative with Webb and with Antonio from Honduras. It was just like sitting there and just listening to the three totally different backgrounds was just kind of amazing. You get to learn about it. But that Cattle Drive Live, I don't know if everybody's had a chance, but Cattle Drive Live comes on every Monday night at 7 o'clock. I give them a pitch out because they told us last night how to get this thing live and get it going. So I appreciate that. But they're very informative, and we have a guy coming in like that starts out their show, and he couldn't be here tonight, but he's going to give us a weekly cattle report deal kind of deal. It's going to be pretty cool. So we'll have him from this point on, and he'll be coming in and telling us what's going on. But this is an informational deal, and this is a marketing. I think this is a true marketing deal that we're missing that other breeds are doing, and there's a lot of ideas. We can learn from each people that we have on our podcast, and there's a lot of people say they're small breeders that don't know about Tinney Farms and Grandview or what we're doing, or but this gives people a chance to reach out to these guys, and they're easy to talk to, and that was what I thought. This was just a really nice little informative deal, create something, and then I got to watching Mr. Jim at V8, and man, those little shows he were doing was just really, really informative. And then at the same time, BR Cottrell, man, they that week of Houston, if nobody got to watch them on this podcast stuff, I mean, Rachel and Brandon were like tearing it up at that Houston right before it. They had so much advertising going on. They had people from, I don't know how many different countries, 20, 30, I don't know. But every time I turned around, they had stuff going on at the ranch, and that's a promotion and marketing deal that was available. So those two people, along with the cattle drive, just, I don't know, it got my wheels to turning and churning, and hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff out there that people can learn. And I don't know it all, and the thing is, I learn something new every day. But if you don't try some of this, then you're not, you don't know till you try this. So, and if we got people online, if they want to ask questions, and we can get all that stuff in there, maybe we can have these people answer the questions. And Brent, I don't know, we had Brent working great this afternoon, and I don't know what happened to getting him on here, but we'll take care of him here in a minute. But that's my little piece on the podcast.
Sure. While we have the time, I want to send prayers out to South Texas and King Ranch. I know a bunch of people, or the Atlanta stuff is getting burned up right now, really all over the United States. I know Louisville Fire Department, where I work, we got some people deployed over in West Texas. So just a quick little prayer for them. I know they're going through some struggles.
Yeah, and Taylor Schuster, one of our good friends, and Mr. Schuster's been in the breed forever, and they're down there by Donna, Texas, and man, they provide, that's Rio Fresh is the name of their company, and they provide so much vegetables and fruits and stuff for the whole United States. And that place just burnt down last week, and that's a tremendous loss. I mean, I don't even know where to start. The water flooding places, and then a fire that's went all over West Texas, and now it's took out one of our own people here, and it's burnt their whole entire company down. And that's just hard to do. That was a gorgeous building, and everything they had there, and our prayers are out to them.
Certainly.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's see. Now, Mr. Let's do that right there. So I can add you on here.
Still, we don't have Brent back, so I guess we can just go ahead and we'll just have to. I'll work through his lots, and Arlen's. If you want to do Arlen's lots, then maybe accidentally Brent will get in here or something here in a minute.
Yeah, Mr. Arlen. So can you give us a little bit of background behind this Crimson Classic sale, a little bit of history behind it, and what it takes to have a lot in there and all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, I think that this sale is sponsored by the Alabama Connection, which is a group of cattle guys here in Alabama, Santa Cruz breeders, that's kind of sponsor this deal. And I think it got started. There was a sale in Mississippi that I think Delmo and Andy Fullington were kind of doing, was the Magnolia Classic, I think. So they stopped doing that. So we just kind of took that date and took that sale over and moved it to Tinney Farms here in Alabama. I don't know how many years ago now, but it's been several years ago. And so what it basically is, it's basically an opportunity for our cooperators, our guys that buy our cattle through the Alabama Connection, a place to market their livestock. And it gives some of the smaller breeders and some of the guys that don't really have the setup to put on a production type sale, an opportunity to market their cattle to the public. So it's a really good deal for our guys that buy our cattle. So now we've moved it. Now we actually host it now at the Coleman Stockyards in Coleman, Alabama, and we try to sell a few bulls at that deal, but mainly we try to sell 50 to 60 purebred Santa Gertrudis females, and then we try to sell as many commercial or Santa Gertrudis influenced females as we can at that deal, as some of our bull buyers and stuff are commercial breeders. So it gives them an opportunity to sell some of their good females.
Awesome. Let's see. So as we go through these lots, here's a few of the reference sires for everybody to kind of check out. These are going to be the few of the sires on the lots for sale. Dad, you want to take away good Brent's and Domo's lots?
Yeah. Let's go through here and let's we got the catalog here, and I'll tell you what, Darren, a hand out there to Darren Richmond. He did a great job of putting his sale catalog together, and he did most of the pictures for this catalog, and he's put a lot of hard work into this, and he is to be commended for doing a really, really great job and stepping this Crimson Classic up to one of the better sales in the breed. And it's hard to do, is you have a lot of different people that want to put lots in this sale, and it makes it hard. It's easy when you have 2 or 3 people, but when you have everybody that purchased cattle from Alabama Connection people, that's how you got able to consign lots into the sale. You had to buy lots from one of these Connection members, and then you could put lots into the sale. And that's been Darren's job, to go around and get these cattle and get pictures of them, get them videoed, and get things going good. And he's done a really great job. So I want to make sure he gets a little credit for that as well.
Yeah. Darren is he's key to this sale right here. I mean, he handles everything from gathering up consigners' pictures, as Darrell said, and he pretty much runs this sale for us. He does a great job.
He does a good job. Let's start off here. If we can look in the catalog here, we have Miss Grandview 1181C3, and her brand number is HO43. And she goes back on that top side. You're going to see a lot of these really, really stout carcass animals that go back to this Harco T958. David and Mr. Harco, Mr. Copeland, their Harco Ranch. And I tell you what, they put together a great set of animals that we've been still building on for, I guess, probably 10 or 12 years now. And when you see that Harco T958, and there was a couple of brothers, and then if you'll look on the great grandsire, you had 2022, man, he has been producing some of the IMF cattle in this breed, and phenotype is second to none. And then when you go down on the bottom side, you have National Champion Sledge that Darren and them showed a few years back. I think Jim Reeves was judging that show. He was your national champion bull. And then, it sure doesn't hurt. There's a little red Angus on that bottom side, and that's going to balance out her phenotype and her look and give some carcass back into it. So, she's got a pretty good solid set of numbers. She's got a good 532 weaning weight, and then she's got 14 and 20 on weaning and yearling. She's got a bid 10 score on her total mat, and so she's got a good balanced set of numbers. So she's a really good. And then we've just been talking about the degree. If you'll look at the animal herself, She is a really long-bodied female, lots of capacity, lots of bone to her, and when you watch the video, she can really get out there and travel. She's one of the highlights of this sale coming in. So don't overlook her. And that sire and dam she's out of is really phenomenal females. And Delmo's kind of come out to the end of the crop by putting her in there.
Awesome.
Moving
on
to
lot 3.
Lot 3. Lot 3 is going to be another Grandview lot. Man, I hate Brent's not on here. He could break down some of this a little bit better, but we got a Magnum female, and that Magnum bull was 2-time national champion bull for the Hidden Fields in Florida. He has done a tremendous job. He goes back to that Kudo bull that Briggs and everybody's used quite a bit on the top side. And on the bottom side, you got, of course, that red hot 40-10 bull. Grandview has hit a home run with that bull. He has been so astronomical in so many different pedigrees. And that goes back to that Mr. Red W101. Man, that bull's he was a freight train meat wagon. But just a great genetic makeup there. And she's got a really good weaning weight and yearling weight number. And just a really good, clean fronted female with good foot and bone on her. Just a really nice female.
Okay.
And if you'll look, every one of these that's in here is supposed to be bred to, I think both of those are, both of those are bred to that CP bull, the 915 C8. That bull was a bull that Delmo and Arlen bought together. They bought the C6 and the C8 to complement each other. But this is another one of those Roberto that come from Briggs. And that bull, I'll tell you what, I don't know how many thousands. I was trying to think. We've sold probably almost $200,000 worth of animals out of Roberto. And then if you'll remember back in 2018, that bull produced Laura Zabilski's female that won the National Junior Heifer Show. And we still got females now that we're breeding that goes back to Roberto and doing a great job. And then if you'll see what his mother is, that's the great 915 Silva cow that we started out with. And I know we sold $300,000-$400,000 worth of cattle out of her, and she's the mother of Copperhead. So the C8 bull is a half brother to Copperhead, going back on Roberto. And then you got the Sancho bull, and I mean Red Doc has just hit a home run with that Sancho bull. And then the picture cow is a 634 that's 915's mother. That female is just phenomenal, and I think Mr. Yancey Strait finally ended up with that cow at the end after Robert Silva. I just flushed her 9 million times, and then Yancey got to get a flush, and he sold some awesome cattle out of them here last fall. So, you got Code Red back in there, and I mean, just a great genetic makeup, and he's got a marbling of 0.07 with a great balance index. His T-Mat's 12. And I'll tell you what, whoever buys these are going to be really happy with the calves they have inside of them because they got a great future to them. And that's kind of the lot 1 going back through there. That's 253 E3, and that's an El Rey daughter. It goes back to another one of those brothers that we talked about in the lot 2. You've got the Harco T956.
Hey, don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to kind of remind everybody this is a picture of the sire of lot 1. Just to kind of.
Okay. Yeah, that's a picture of the sire right there.
Female. Yeah, it's gonna be cow calf or cow calf pair with a heifer calf. Okay. So.
And then on the top side, it goes back to that Red Doc, that great 8052 bull that they pushed so hard. It goes back to that's a Wakarua, the gold mine, the shorthorn deal that they enticed into the breed. And you got Avalanche, and then, oh, man, the Ricardo is going to put you some beautiful udders on the female. And as Delmo always says, if you see that Winrock M253, that female she is produced forever and ever and just keeps going. That female, if it's in your pedigree, you're going to have a lot of longevity built in there. So, and then the last one we'll talk about at Grandview, so Arlen can talk. Lot 64, we're going to go over there, and this will be a bull that they're selling. The lot 64 is a Grandview bull. His number is H103, and he's out of the Great Chosen One. I mean, that Chosen bull has probably been one of the most consistent bulls, like Copperhead and everybody else, that's really just mass-produced, good, solid cattle all the way through, and he doesn't hurt you at all. He blends in, and that was the pick of the bulls that David Harris and Ricky and all of them bought as the Chosen One. So that bull is just a tremendous bull. There's no telling how many people's AI to this bull the last year. And he goes back to Grandview here again, the red hot 4010 in there. And then they got a little bit of dose of that R.A. Brown Bola herd builder Red Angus bull back in there. So he's going to breed pretty true as he breeds along. And, he's got a marbling of 0.23 with a 0.24 ribeye. So look at his index carcass. He's got 4, 15, and 3. And he's got a low birth weight. So you can pretty well turn him loose because he had a 1.23 ribeye per 100 with a 4.92 and 35 scrotal at 12 months. That's a tremendous bull. Y'all need to look over lot 64 there at the Crimson sale.
Awesome. And Mr. Arlen, you want to start off talking over lot 9?
Lot 9, yeah, that's a female that is out of a Harris. The Harris 53/6 bull is a bull I purchased from David Harris that was actually a 3/4 blood bull with a little bit of Red Angus in him, and he's really done us a great job producing on some of these. This is actually out of a Pistolero daughter, and a cow that I bought at one of the Houston super sales, the 600 cow, which goes back to the Hartco. And she's got, and I've got this heifer bred. She's safe and calf to a really exciting young bull that we've got coming up, the Pistolero 5369 bull, which is really balances out the carcass as far as ribeye and marbling combined. So I'm pretty excited about this mating with this young sire coming up, and
now
just a really nice
Arlen, that female, that 5369, tell a little bit about her. Had the history. She's been really tremendous for you and Ricky over there at Quail Valley.
Yeah, 5369 at one point, and she still may be. I'm not 100% sure of this, but was probably the number one marbling EPD cow in the breed. I'm not sure if she still is, but tremendous amount of carcass in that cow, and she has produced. Ricky and I bought her at the Houston Super Sale, and she has produced a lot of outstanding cattle for Ricky and I both. We're actually using a couple of bulls out here on Tinney Farms right now that are out of that cow. Just a really nice cow. Puts a nice phenotype on the calves, but certainly adds a lot of carcass. A lot of carcass to that 5369 cow. Really, really good cow.
And the lot 10.
Lot 10 is a really outstanding cow that I actually purchased as a calf from one of my customers, one of my cooperators, and we raised her up. In fact, we just took a bull off a gain test just 2 weeks ago. And he performed really well, but just an outstanding deep bodied, good bone cow. Of course, we've got her safe and calf to that same Pistolero 5369 bull, which is really going to enhance her carcass, and she's going to help him out in a few areas where he needs it. And just an outstanding cow, great uddered female, good footed, and got a lot of capacity.
Yeah, and if you'll study on her pedigree up there at the top, you've got that red Solo Cup bull.
That's right.
He was the pick that Rob Stripmeyer had as a calf, and I think that thing brought like $10,000 or $12,000 as a calf. And then his sire is OU Superstar, that was national champion bull. Man, that bull was a good impact on the breed. And then the Harris 002, just tremendous going all the way back on that top side.
Yeah, great pedigree on this cow. And that old Joe bull, that bull, we bred that bull for 10 years out here. That's a bull we had bought from Bridge Ranch. She's a long time ago, but anyway, he has done us a tremendous job. Just a super thick made, kind of not a real big giant bull, but good bone, good footed, and has done us a world of good out here at Tinney Farms. We've actually produced probably several show winners out of that bull as well.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and that goes back to that 53-21. And I know Gene had always talked a lot about him, but Joe Jones really thought a lot of that 53-21 bull, and that bull was bred pretty heavy back in the day. And you got top and bottom genetics here producing that 53-69 bull that could really, with all that bone this cow has and the mass, that's kind of what that bull needs to be bred to, is something that, whether that caliber of female.
That's correct.
So, lot 11.
Lot 11. That's Darrell alluded to that Roberto sons that Delmo and I had purchased. This one is actually out of the C6 bull, which is the flush mate to the other bull that Darrell was talking about. And pretty much just, on the bottom side of her pedigree goes back to the Copperhead. The 909 was a really outstanding bull for us, produced us a lot of really good calves. And he is actually an own son of the original Copperhead. And the 484 bull, I sold him to some folks over in Georgia, and he absolutely done them a fantastic job. And they were just a small operation, so they traded him in 3 years after they purchased him, and then I got him back and turned right around and sold him to a neighbor of mine up here that's breeding a bunch of Red Angus cows with him, and just absolutely loves him. He's really produced a lot of good calves that I've actually purchased back. So outstanding pedigree on this lot 11 cow, and she's safe in calf as well to the same 53-69 bull, Pistolero bull. So he's gonna really boost her carcass numbers up. So
awesome. Appreciate it, Mr. Arlen.
Yes, sir.
Dad, can I go through our lots?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
No, not can I. You go ahead.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay. All right. I got you. Yeah, let's turn over there to lot 39, and we'll talk about her first. Well, I'll tell you what. This is we have some partners, and we do a lot of different ventures together. But this is one of my partners from Honduras, and we had him on the show in Houston. And this is Cerveza, and everybody was 2 weeks ago, I think it was, when we was up in Arkansas. Wow, that was a tremendous sale that Kobe Threet, Scott Threet, and Jamie and Chad Daniels put on. I was fortunate enough, I got one of those caps the other day, so that was kind of exciting. But there was a lot of stuff going on at that sale. Those cattle were tremendous. But this, if everybody will remember, those two females everybody was going crazy over this is the mother. So everybody has a chance right now to step up and buy the mother of those two awesome heifers that he just gave you a pick. He wouldn't let both of them go, the 017 J2 and 017 J3. And I'll tell you what, I don't know who picked what the other day, but that was a very hard pick there. Those females their future in this breed has a lot going on. But this female here is a 2022. It goes back to the great Harris cow 017 over 9, and we've had a reserve national champion out of her, and that was to Morgan Barrow back in 2017 at the National Junior Heifer Show. That female, it was a full sib to this one. That was 017 D7 is this female, and D8 was the one that won reserve national champion. And this female here is the world champion. She won the world championship over all the other breeds of cattle, everything. So everybody's having a great chance right here. You got Grid Maker. You got a little bit of dose of little Red Angus there in that bottom side. And then you go back to Harco. Here we go again with that T158. You got Geronimo. And wow, Geronimo's done an impact over there for Gray Oaks Ranch. Golly, he sold a lot of high dollar cattle. And you got that Bridge 003 and Bridge 023. Man, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity right here to get this female. She's going to be ready for you to flush, produce those massive heifers like we had the other day, that sale. Then, if you'll look at the bottom here, there's 422 over 8. This is a Hemingway daughter out of this cow, 017D7. This female is a tremendous, tremendous female. And we'll be selling a calf out of her. We'll talk about her here shortly. But, folks, y'all better step up, get you a partner, get somebody in there with you, 2 or 3 people, and get this female bought. And you don't need very many cows. You just need one cow like this right here and just mass produce them and keep winning in the show ring and in the carcass industry as well as the show ring. So tremendous female. She's going to be for sale.
I was going to add in too. I know with our 017 genetics, you have a cow come once in a lifetime. Everything that 017 touched is turned to gold. We weaned off 50 plus calves out of that female in one way or the other, whether it's grandbabies or heifers, and I don't think we've culled barely any at all.
No. There's bulls have been good as well.
Good, yeah, bulls too. I think we just sold a pair of 017 bull calves to some folks over in Louisiana. So those, I mean.
Oh yeah, some of our I forgot about that. That's what these commercial buyers, they want just as good. They want better animals really than we do in the purebred sometimes. But this guy came the other day and he said, I don't want no show cattle and I don't want this and I don't want that. Well, he left there with 2 of my show bulls. So he said, that was the first thing I told you. I didn't want a show bull. And he left there. He fell in love with those bulls and they were out this 017 over 9 cow. And she's had a great impact, but she's going to they're going to South Louisiana and they're going on Brayford-based cattle. And so I'm excited about that. They're going out in the commercial industry as well as the purebred industry as well. So, yes, this genetics has done great. And then lot 40A, if you look at 40A, this will be a daughter out of this cow that we had up here on the screen. She just got fresh weaned off. We got her clipped up and everything good now. And she's a July 21st baby doll that we'll be having in a sale over there. So that'll be just in time for all the that's August. That'll be April 23rd. So that'll be the May 1st deadline. And we'll take scramble certificates on her or whatever we need to do to get her in the junior's hands. So she's out of this great 422 over 8 cow that goes back to this lot 39 017D7. So a nice little heifer calf on the side. And then what's the next one, Casey? Lot 41?
Mm-hmm.
Lot 41, this is a tremendous female that's Tinney Farms bred, top and bottom. And this picture doesn't do her justice. When y'all see her in person, she's it was a little bit windy that day. And every time you'll notice in some of our pictures, the tails won't be still. That was one of those 40-mile-an-hour wind days. But this female here is sired by that C6 that Arlen talked about a while ago as one of their main bulls. And it's a Roberto 915 sire that goes back to 5-bar E integrity on the bottom, that 350 bull. And I'm telling you what, y'all gonna be in for a treat when y'all get the calf that's inside of her. Our calves out of this Forgotten One bull, we bought this bull from Straight. I guess a year and a half ago we bought this bull, and oh my gosh, we bred all the kids as show heifers to them, and those calves are just tremendous. We've got them, in every 2 or 3 states around us. And if you'll look at his marbling, he's a 0.46 marbling, guys. He's in the top 1% in every category, and he's moved up to a junior herd sire leader right now. So I'll tell you what, he's going to be this calf inside of her. If it's, it could be a heifer calf, it could be winning in the show ring, or it could be a bull that wins on the gain test and on the ultrasound as well. So a tremendous female here. Big old long neck, long bodied female that's going to work. So then we got lot 44. So let's see what 44 is here. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good cattle in this sale right here, folks. You don't have your list is going to have to be to narrow it down fast. This lot 44, save the best to last here. This female right here, if you're looking for numbers, if you're looking for the phenotype, here she is, but she's 253 J4. This is a catalyst out of a catalyst son that Harris had out of the 253 G4. And her mother, just a lot of y'all may not know much about the ET work, but Arlen can tell you this female produced 88 oocytes the first time I flushed her, and then IVF'd her. I'm sorry, Justin M don't like to say flush, but the first time I IVF'd her was 88, and then we did her the second time the other day, and I got 113 oocytes, and I used 3 bulls on her, and we got 50 something embryos out of her mother. And then when we did the palpation, it was like 8 out of 9 pregnant, 5 out of 7 pregnant, and then we're waiting on results on the other group that we did in Kentucky the other day. But this female right here has got a 0.13 marbling. Look how high that weaning weight is, and she's got 5 traits in the top 10%. I mean, this female is destined to be in the donor pen. So make sure and take your time and go by her pen and take a look, because she's got the phenotype along with the numbers. You know, Delmo's trying to make us put the best of the best in this cell to make this cell better. And this is an item coming to you from DP Cattle Company that is asking for some, you know, for a chance to buy right there. Really nice female.
Okay. Well, that about rounds out our podcast with Arlen. We're also me and Dad are going to stay after a little bit and discuss some of Pitchford Cattle's upcoming events. So, Mr. Arlen, I appreciate you so very much for coming on and being our guest. I'm glad we got to hear from you and everything.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was interesting. I enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, we can have you on in the future and make some more common event.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all for listening. We're going to be here a little bit longer. We're going to talk about a few exciting things that have happened with Pitchford Cattle. Most recently is this right here. Dad, you want to kind of explain? I know you got the Purple Rain hat on. Kind of explain what y'all got here.
Well, yeah, I may have the Purple Rain hat on, but I think I'll skip over to the right picture that we have first, because that's more important. But we got a new addition here. That's Miss Everly Olivia. And she come to us on February 22nd. I tell you what, she's a handful now. She's keeping everybody on their toes, and she's keeping everybody busy. And my crazy wife and daughter just got back yesterday from Kentucky. Well, early this morning, I guess. But they've had her on a world tour. They went to the annual meeting up in Kentucky for the awards banquet that we were very fortunate enough that Gracie had the high point female overall, and they went up there to get that award, and she was the best of pole female. And I'll tell you what, that female was back to back, and I don't think that's been done in a while, but she was last year and this year, she was the overall high point female for the whole entire breed by a long shot. There was nobody even close to her. And that female has done it as a calf and as a cow with a calf right now. And she still has junior national to go as well. So they made the trip up there and got the awards. And then they went by and visited Mr. Bud Shanks. Man, I hate I wasn't with them. I had to be down at the Ace Cattle Sale, and I was in charge of the hauling. But they went by and visited our dear, dear friend Bud Shanks that I grew up with. And we need to say some prayers out for him. He's been through a little cancer project, and he's had a tough time. And so Shannon wanted to make sure they got to see the baby and Gracie, you know, here in due time. And then they went by and visited my brother Dale, and then made it on up to Kentucky to see my dad. So they kind of made a little world trip out of it right there. But now they've all made it home safely. And now we can talk about this heifer on the left. This is a tremendous female. You know, I was so excited when I heard the Purple Rain was going to happen up there in Arkansas, and Chad Daniels and Jamie and Scott and Colby, and that female. I've been watching that female's mother, I guess, since Casey was little. But a short story, and we'll get off of it. But that female's mother, I saw her in a wash rack when it was dark. It was dark in Houston, Texas, and I told Philip Sanford, a guy who used to help us PS ranch, and I said, "Holy smokes! I don't know what that heifer was. It's dark, but that female right there, I don't think I ever seen a female like that before." And I said, "Crap, I'm gonna go buy her." And Philip's like, "What are you so worried about? That heifer will be there when we done washing." I said, "No, dude, I need to make a move. I gotta go buy that heifer." And he said, "Well, dude, you're fine." So we got done washing, and this will never happen again. But I'll never finish washing after this deal. But when we got done washing, I put it up, and I went over there, and I went straight to Mr. Urbanowski's place. And Jerome was standing over there, and I said, "Hey, I got a heifer I saw out there in the parking lot, and it was dark, but I got to find her, and I'm going to buy her." And so we went down through there, and I found her, and he said, "Man, I would love to sell you this heifer, but Scott Threet just bought her a few minutes ago." I said, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me." I said, "Holy crap." I said, "So he's bought her. He's already paid you and everything." He said, "Yeah, he's already bought her and paid me." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, that heifer's going to be tremendous. I don't know what she is or what she's out of." But anyway, that heifer went on, and Casey got reserved behind that female with our other cow, Paisley, I think. I think that's who it was, reserve senior behind her. But that 942 Cinderella cow, I mean, they don't come along like that very much. And I think Dud Satry, a big time Angus guy, was the judge. And I remember we were up there at the back drop, and he said, "Hey, Pitch, you had it won till this female walked in." And I said, "Yeah, I know. I've been watching her for about 8 or 9 months now." I said, "She's tremendous. I knew I couldn't get around her." And that was this female's mother. And Cinderella, and this female's number is 942J1. And we're going to make her name Everly. We bought this female to help my granddaughter's cow herd as they start, because I'd already bought one for Casey's little girl and Oakley. So we already have that female. I was at a sale at Straits, and so I bought Oakley in that sale. And then the other day, Gracie's like, "Dad, you're not going to buy Everly a heifer? You bought Oakley one." And I said, "I haven't found her yet. I've looked at 3 sales, but I haven't found her." And then, boy, when I saw the video on that 942J1, I said, "I hope I'm able to get her." So that's the female I left there with. And I'll tell you what, the length of her front end, the hips she has, the volume, the foot. She may not win every show in the nation, but we're going to do a lot of IVF on her, and we're going to mass produce her. She needs a little help with some EPDs, but I'll tell you what, she don't need no help phenotypically. I mean, when she stands out there, "Here I am," that's the first words. But she's out of the great 2022 with all the marbling. When we put these other bulls back on her, this is going to be a tremendous future for Everly to take off and have a good start in her program. So I'm really excited that Threet could offer me such a female like that to buy at public auction, because I don't know if she was at my house, I don't know if I'd ever let her go.
So just kind of give everybody a rundown. So we'll be having our premier warm-up show in Gainesville, Texas, at the Cook County Fairgrounds. Let's see.
That'll be May 1st is the day of the show.
Here we go. Here's the fraternity. May 1st will be the day of the show. It's going to be directly preceding the premier warm-up show. And we'll be doing the same thing as last year. All the rules and everything we'll have posted on Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. But this is another way we can kind of give back to our junior program. A grand prize is going to be $3,500 college scholarship, or a $2,500 one-time use future sale credit. It excludes semen, but we really enjoy it. We're excited to give back. Reserve is $2,500 scholarship, or $1,500 one-time use sale credit. Last year's winners was Bryce Hardy and CJ Grogan. We actually plan to kind of get them a little video soon, and hopefully kind of get their take on what they plan to do with that money. And I know Bryce may put it back into an animal and kind of see where his, where that animal is and how it's helping his herd and all that kind of good stuff. So that's something exciting coming up. So be sure, if y'all want to get entered in this, you can message me directly. I have a post up, has my phone number on it. So just message me your name, your heifer's name, and make sure that name is, a way I can identify them. And then we'll put you in classes and we'll have a show. We're going to have 2 guest judges coming from a different breed. And so that's exciting. I guess there's still a secret, right, Dad?
They're a secret. Nobody's going to know. How I fooled all y'all last year, and not even my wife knew. So they tried to get it out of me. But no, I have 2 great judges coming this year, and they're outside the breed, but they have a world of knowledge of cattle, and I would trust them to do just about anything in the world for me.
Awesome.
But yeah, this is the way we can get back to the juniors. And if you bought semen from us, if you bought bulls from us and sired those calves, or you've bought
Embryos,
heifers out of our sale, any of that stuff in the past, as long as they're still eligible to show at the National Junior Heifer Show, you can bring them back for the fraternity.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of give us a rundown. I know we talked about our this is another way for next year's fraternity you can kind of get ahead, and we'll be offering this sale. Kind of explain it, Dad. It's going to be the Weekly Junior Nationals.
Yeah, I decided I usually try to have those sales right before that. Well, we moved the deadline to May 1 now. I usually try to have it like the last week in April, but these calves are just getting weaned off. We're just getting them branded. We're just getting everything done to them, and I thought it was too fast. It's not the end of the world that they can't go to the National Junior Heifer Show, but this is the deadline for the first majors is June 30th. So we're going to have the sale June 24th after the National Junior Heifer Show is over at 7 p.m. And this is going to be on smartauctions.co. So you can tune into there. June 1st is when we're going to video all the heifers. And man, I tell y'all what, I'm really excited about these females. We have Grandview Farms is putting females in there. We're getting their very top end of their heifers. And now we have Tinney Farms coming in strong that sold heifers here last year. He's stepping up, and I'm going to get some of their very elite females because now they realize these junior guys are serious. They're out here and they got the best cattle and they're wanting them. And then I have a new special guy, which is a dear friend of mine, but this is Mr. Al Shayu out of Mississippi, and that's Tideland. And this guy has been putting together a set of cows for 15 years now, I guess, or more, that they're just unbelievable females. So he's going to be one of our guest consigners. We'll have females that are out of the grade 038 female. We'll have females out of Oakley, and we'll have females out of a Brits cow that we have, and then about 3 or 4 more donors. So you're going to get some elite. There'll be about 20 to 25 females that you can go in there and pick. And I know the first thing y'all are going to tell me, man, I wish we could go to Athens, but we're here in Texarkana, and we can't make that 3-hour trip. I wish I could see them, man. I may be interested. Well, guess what? I'm bringing the heifers to y'all. So we're going to have a place right outside of town in Texarkana that's going to be within 5 miles of the facility. We're going to have those cattle on display for y'all all week. So y'all can go out there and look through the animals, see what you like, then go in there, and the sale will be that night after the show's over. And then when you leave Saturday morning, those females will be ready to go home with you and take off and start their show career. So I'm going to bring them to you, and all these animals will be eligible for that fraternity. And I'm really excited. This is an awesome set of females, and we're going to offer a few bred heifers maybe as well. And then we're going to have some of those little good bull calves out of those same matings. I'm going to put some of those bulls in there, and that may be some that we may be showing Thursday or Friday. Some of these animals we may be showing Friday, and then they're going to be in that sale Friday night. So we're going to be able to give you some possibility. Some may be already completely halter broke, but you're going to get some top end elite females that can run with anybody out there. So it'll be at smartauctions.co. About a week before the sale, you can look them up. or feel free to come by the ranch anytime. The last 2 weeks before the Junior National, come on by, and I'd rather show them to you out in the trap and let you see them buck and kick and play and all that.
And just a few events coming up. Just to remind everybody, like I said, May 1st, we'll be at Cook County Fairgrounds for the Premier Fraternity and the Premier Junior Warm-Up Show. We'll have that Opportunity Knocks Volume 4 sale June 24th. It'll be on smartauction.com. May 1st, it will be the ownership deadline, and entries are due for 2022 National Junior Heifer Show. That Crimson Classic sale that we just talked about will be April 23rd, 2022. Mid-Coast Junior Show is going to be May 14th at Grimes County Fairgrounds. Good luck to everybody there exhibiting Pitchford cattle, animals, and all that kind of good stuff. And also on June 19th through the 25th, that's when Nationals will be held at the Four States Fairgrounds this year. And just a reminder, if you didn't hear earlier in the podcast, us at Pitchford Cattle, we've decided to give a straw of semen to every single class winner at Junior Nationals out of the PC Copperhead 915C4 Bowl. And that includes purebred, Star 5, bulls, all the special classes. We want to give back to our juniors, just like we enjoy doing. We love this breed, and we love the opportunity to give back. And I want to appreciate everybody for joining us here.
Hey, one more thing you did forget. Let's make sure, because old Matt Cabana, he'll be worried we didn't put it on this list right here, upcoming events. But May 7th is the Mid-Coast sale there in Fort County at the Industry. And we've got about 5 or 6 lots of our own in that sale. But Mr. Cabana, man, he's done a great job of getting those cattle together. And he's put some of the biggest breeders in the breed back into this sale at Fort County. So, Matt, you've done a great job putting that together. And we'll get those videos this next week, I believe, and they'll be out for everybody to see as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, appreciate it so very much. I look forward to future podcasts going on. I'm excited to see the new guests that we might have next time. If y'all liked it, please give us a thumbs up and, comment and let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. If you want to see more, then, we'll give you more. I know I had a good time. Dad, what do you think about it?
Yes, sir. And, I know for sure we may try to do this every 2 weeks on Tuesday, but if it leads up to, like the Cattle Drive Live, they do theirs every Monday night at 7 o'clock. So if we can get this thing rolling, maybe do it every Tuesday night, but for sure every 2 weeks we'll have something going on. And we want to talk about, we're going to have different guests on here, and then we're going to have, if you've got a sale or something coming up, we'll be glad to talk about it. And then I sure have enjoyed it. And I just hope we've been able to be informative and, promote this breed of cattle. They're a great breed of cattle. It's a great group of people. And, you gotta help promote each other.
Yeah. And didn't you have a little saying you want to start saying on every podcast?
Oh, if you're gonna talk about it, be about it. Or you're gonna be about it, talk about it. Which one do you want me to say it to?
If you're gonna talk about it, be about it.
That's right. If you're gonna talk about it, be about it. That's it. Right there. The legends fly.